Let's go! Lovely stuff. We are back for the final time today. We have... Oh, there's the intro music. Copyright strike inbound. So, we have practice 2, and then that is going to be all for today. Give me a second, I'll change all the overlay stuff. 5 minutes until we get underway. A fairly uneventful practice 1. Nothing really happened at all. It was fairly normal. The Red Bulls leading, Alonso in there, the Ferraris. And literally there was nothing interesting to go over. Right, let's change this. So, border. Boom. There we go. And then the timer. That. Huh? Tar. And then we'll edit filter. Boom. Or is this... Hang on. There you go. Everything's ready then. Hang on. I guess I was watching the F1 broadcast. I guess I'm not now. I'm actually watching Joshua versus Ngannou weigh-in. I don't understand how a boxing weigh-in, which doesn't really mean anything. Actually, I probably shouldn't say that because I actually know nothing about boxing. Who's on the commentary team today? It is David Croft. How long before he says something completely, like, obvious and dumb? I'm saying 3.5 minutes. The live timing is also working, so we are almost ready to go. And we go from there. So long. This song's a banger. Class. Very good. Anyway, we have 2 minutes until we get underway. It is killing me. Can it just not, please? Hang on. We have a delayed start for FP2. FP2 has been delayed. Of course, now it is completely nighttime out on track. And this is going to be where we're going to see a lot of long runs. And I'd say more long runs than hot laps for quali runs. Because obviously, practice 2 is always the most representative to the race conditions. Obviously, it's nighttime, the temperature. So, yeah. So I'll try and find out what's wrong. But I doubt people have got an answer, like, now. I can't find anything as to why it's being delayed. I genuinely have no idea. Yep. No idea why we have a delay. Oh, hang on, Croft on the case. He's trying to find out why we're delayed as well. It's probably another drain cover, isn't it? It's always a drain cover. For some reason. Hang on, here we go. Maybe? Reason for delay is not yet known. That's just fucking brilliant, isn't it? Charles Leclerc says on the radio, well, this was back in FP1.
What?
The track is like Mario Kart.
That's carry.
The track is like Mario Kart.
That's funny. Please tell me why your session is delayed. Please tell me why we have a delayed start. Tell me why. Loose bolts on drain covers. They've got to sort it out. Why is it with these drain covers as well? 2 weekends in a row. They've got to sort out these drain covers. The amount that there is. Last week it was twice. Like, we had a drain cover issue twice, which was just dumb. And we don't even have a confirmed start time. Why has Bernie Collins got 10 years younger? How does that work? No idea. Well, that's a bit annoying for me, because obviously I like to cover the on-track action, and when there isn't any, I don't know what the fuck to talk about. I suppose what I can talk about is the whole Verstappen, Mercedes, Horner sack, Newey leaving, Red Bull issue. And I said it in my F2 stream, but my mic was muted because I'm an idiot. But, all I can really comment on that is that, I mean, I did say these exact words in my F2 live stream, but, like, if you believe those, rumours and, media posts about Mercedes, Verstappen going to Mercedes, Horner getting sacked, this whole investigation, if you believe anything, you're an idiot and you're a bit of a moron, and you're an utter imbecile, because realistically, nothing's actually been said from the mouths of these people. It's made up mainly by British media, and yes, I'm shitting on my own country because we're quite known for it, making up stories and then widespreading them so much it becomes like true. Like this whole Verstappen to Mercedes, it's come out of nowhere. No one has even said it. The person who did say it was some random journalist no one's ever heard of, and now it's like a common thing. Oh yeah, Verstappen is going to Mercedes. Two things. Why would Verstappen leave? Red Bull gave him a chance in F1. They gave him his first win. They gave him his first championship. and now they're the best team F1's ever seen. Why would you want to leave that? 2, why would you go to your biggest rival? But yeah, a bit dumb. The Horner investigation, again, no one actually knows what it's about. Literally no one knows. People have guessed, and then once again, British media outlets have guessed, and because they've said it so much, it's now just became common knowledge. We have no idea what it actually was about. All we know is that, apparently, again, this isn't even confirmed by any official Red Bull person, that apparently the person who filed the complaint has been suspended on full pay. Again, no one knows if that's even true. We have a start time of 10 past, so 4 minutes and practice 2 will begin. Lovely. Gotta love it really, don't ya? Finally get underway. I can finally commentate on-track action rather than talking bollocks. And it actually is confirmed to be loose drain covers. After a damaged cover was found in front of the garages, they all need to be checked. Cool. Goes crazy. Alright, T-minus 3 minutes until we begin. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Wow, I really need to upload more shorts because I used to upload a daily Rocket League short. And basically, what ended up happening was that I'd upload a Rocket League short every single day. And then I'd get an absolute view and sub farm, but then my main videos would get nothing because, well, I'm uploading F1 videos on Rocket League Shorts, and at the time I thought, oh, it's just a sub farm. But now I've realised it's sort of muddied my channel a little bit because I've got way more subscribers than I really should have. I should only have about 200-300, not 1.1k. But there we go. And I really should upload more F1 related shorts because the one I uploaded recently, which was on... Oh, fuck off. February 28th, so already a week and a bit ago, has, you know, 6k views. But the thing is, with like Rocket League, you can just hit a cool goal and upload it, whereas with F1, you can't really do that. Although I do have, I could upload like clips of dirty drivers in ranked. I also need to work on my ranked videos because I was going to do every like Sunday or Monday, I was going to do like a Road to Elite ranked series, which I suppose I can still do. I have to play ranked. Anyway, enough of that bollocks. 1.5 minutes until practice begins. I've got the timer ready. Let's just check it works. Boom. Yeah, lovely. We are ready to go for the final hour. The final hour of practice and the final hour of running for me today. Because after today, there's nothing left. There's no F3 on. And of course, F2 ain't until tomorrow. So a quick update before we begin of what is coming tomorrow and the days after. So, tomorrow at 1:30 English time, we have practice 3 in F1. And then at 3 PM, we have the F2 sprint race. And at 5 PM, so the same time as today, we have Formula 1 qualifying. Then, March the 9th, so Saturday, at 1:15, we have the F2 feature race. And then, the big one, at 5 PM British time on Saturday, the F1 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Now, let's get ready.
Give us a much clearer picture.
Oh, wrong one. There we go. Right. Practice 2 has officially begun. The timer is starting. And here we go. And within the first 20 seconds, we already have both state cars, both Alpines, Albon, both McLarens, Magnussen, Stroll, both, but pretty much everyone. There's only 5 cars left now in the pits, which is, oh no, there we go. So now it's just the Ferraris, Russell and Ricciardo in the pits. Everyone else straight out. I'll give it another minute until the other cars come out, if they do, and then I'll run through what tyres everyone is on. Bro, kill. There we go. Now both Ferraris are out as well. Only Ricciardo and Russell left to leave the pits. And now we can go through what tyres people are using. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Here comes Ricciardo now. Just one car left. My whole neck just clicked. That can't be good. Right, I'll just go through the tyres now as we wait for Russell to come out. So, we have Piastri, Joe, Gasly, Ocon, Verstappen, Magnussen, Perez, Hamilton, Alonso, Sargent, Leclerc and Sainz are all on mediums. Albon, Bottas, Norris, Hulkenberg are on hards. Tsunoda and Ricciardo are on the softs. Russell's on the mediums, and for some reason Stroll, although he's already done a lap, still has the question mark tyres. So they don't know what he's on. Can we have like some footage of Stroll? Oh, there we go. Stroll on the mediums as well. And now we can get the sector times going. And we are already getting hot laps as Guan Yu Zhou is on a fast one with a 33.6 through the first sector. Of course, the first 10 to 15 minutes literally mean nothing. It's going to be way later in the session. And of course, there is a lot of track ramp. We saw it in F2. The first couple hot laps were like fast, but each driver improved by about half a second or more. Who's that? Is that Bottas? Yeah, Bottas going wide in turn 1, doing a nice little drift spin. And now he's back on track, ready to go. So yeah, in F2, by the end, every driver was improving by like over half a second. So the track ramp is incredible here. Oh wow, Bottas just spun. Interesting. You don't really see a car spinning under braking. We do have some very fast opening lap times. Now, what is important to remember is that the fastest lap time from FP1 was a 29.6 set by Verstappen. Verstappen's first lap today, now a 30.4. So 8 tenths back from his best FP1 time. And then we have Ocon with a 31.8. Joe with a 31.8, Magnussen a 32.6, Piastri a 32.9, Albon a 33.5, and Gasly a 47 dead. Now we have Stroll with the fastest sector 1. He goes second fastest, 4 tenths behind Verstappen with a 31 dead. And now we have Sergio Perez with the fastest sector 2, and he is going to go P1 by 20 milliseconds. So we have Stroll with the fastest sector 1, Perez with the fastest sector 2, and Verstappen with the fastest sector 3, and then Alonso creeps up into P3 with a 30.7. Now, of course, these drivers are on the medium tyre. All the fast laps from earlier with, you know, Verstappen's 29.6, Perez's 29.8, were all on the soft. So only being 6 or so tenths back on a harder compound is actually quite impressive from both of the Red Bulls. Sonoda in P5 is quite impressive. Oh, and as I say that, Ricciardo goes P4. Fair enough. Gasly P7, Norris P11. Of course, these are the very first laps of the session, so like I said, it literally means nothing at all. Yeah, we're getting a few lap times now. I'm not gonna lie, I really need to have a wee, so I might have to go do that. So we got Croft talking about the line on the end of the pit lane. Oh, actually, kill the music? Why? It'd just be dead. See how silent and depressing it is. Especially when I'm on a quiet one and I don't talk for 5 minutes. You gotta have some background music, mate. Jesus Christ. Sound like a graveyard in here. Both Red Bulls, oh no. Verstappen comes back out on used mediums at the same set. Lot. Ooh. Lance Stroll, fastest sector 1. I'm liking this, Stroll. Come on. I swear to God, if Stroll gets pole position... okay, never mind. As soon as I say that, Alonso goes even quicker in Sector 1 with a 32.6, Strolled on a 32.8. That's rapid from Alonso. What tyre is that on? The he's doing that on a medium. Okay. Okay. So he's probably going to go fastest of anyone. Who else on a lap at the moment? Oh, let's see Alonso. Go on, lad. Fastest Sector 2 as well. By half a second. This is what we want to see. Come on. For the boys. Please. Go. P4. Oh, that is world class. Fernando Alonso, a 29.8 on the medium tyre. That is unreal from Alonso. Whew. Forgot to also mention, Lance Stroll went P2, and Lando Norris went... No, sorry, Stroll went P2, and then Norris beat his time and went P2 with the fastest Sector 3 of anyone. That sort of come up out of nowhere from Norris, because he was a bit shit in practice 1. So was the McLaren in general, to be fair. Oh, hang on. Wait, Norris. Wait, is this right? Norris on the hard tyre, setting low 130s. That's actually very impressive because Leclerc only went a 10th quicker on the medium. Alright, Lando. That's actually a very impressive lap time. Bottas improves to P17 out of 18 drivers. So, no. George Russell moves up to P7 on the medium. 7 tenths back from Fernando Alonso's time. We also have Verstappen improving, Perez improving, and Albon as well. So we can watch them. Here's Verstappen. He's going to cross the line. He's currently P6. He goes P2 with the fastest Sector 3. half a tenth behind Alonso on the same set of tyres. Here's Perez, though. A tenth and a half back from Verstappen in Sector 1. Sector 2, he's half a tenth up on Verstappen, so still about 80 milliseconds back, but he is there. And as we know, and we saw from practice 1, Perez's Sector 3 time is incredibly fucking quick, and we don't know why, but it just is. And here comes Perez round the final corner. Where's he gonna go? He's currently P5. And he goes P2 ahead of Verstappen by 10 milliseconds with the fastest Sector 3. Come on. I love that. Right. Wow, hang on a second. I've got some major wire tangles here. Right, I'm going to go urinate. I'll come back and update you on some times. Quick team radio from Guan Yu Zhou. Some great awareness by signs there. I think you can gather what's happened. Right, I shall be back in a moment. Right, what we saying in laptop? Oh, no, I forgot. I forgot Alonso was always first. What else we got then? Gasly P7. I tell you what, the Alpine doesn't look dreadful this weekend. They look alright. Ooh! Sergeant P10? Okay. Sergeant P10. I like that from Sargi. Go on, Loki Sargi. Fucking goat. Sainz is about to finish a lap. Here he goes. And Sainz goes second fastest on the mediums. A tenth back from Alonso with the fastest Sector 3 again. Verstappen, fastest Sector 1, improvement in Sector 2, and is he about to blitz these timing boards? Tyres, he is on the same mediums he set his first lap time with. Here he comes, he's P4, and he goes P1! Yeah! By 17 milliseconds, Verstappen goes on to first. And one thing that I want to point out is that the fastest lap time from earlier today was a 29.6, and that was on a soft tyre. Now we're in better track conditions. We are in the 29.5s on mediums. So on softs, we can easily get into the 1 minute 28s. Crazy lap times being displayed here from the boys. We also have our first soft runners, which are both of the RBs of Ricciardo and Tsunoda on the softs. We also have everyone on mediums except the RBs, and also Norris, Albon, Bottas, and Hulkenberg, who are all on hards. Now, I do hope, hang on. Russell says the car is unstable high speed, so unstable high speed. How does he means the high speed corners, not a straight line. I was thinking, how can a car be unstable in a straight line? But that's just me being an idiot. Checo on the radio says horrendous bouncing through turn 11, and he is pitted for a wing flap adjustment. There you go. Let's also, can we look at some other team radios? I should be able to on my thing. One annoying thing about the F1 live timing is that you can't look at, you know, on the Sky Sports broadcast, the radio messages, you get subtitles. On F1 live timing, you don't get that. You just get, like, the thing, like, oh, I can click play on this. I mean, you can't hear it, but, like...
I don't think I'm gonna go pick up.
Like, you can hear them speaking, but you have to actively play the audio. And I don't think I can legally do that for more than 4 seconds. So, I can't tell you what drivers are saying. We do have, about 4 minutes ago, a turn 10 incident involving Hamilton and Sargent has been noted for impeding. Although, we are in practice, and impeding isn't really much of an issue in practice, because obviously, you just go around and do it again. Don't be a crybaby. Back on the live timing, let's look at some sectors. Not a single driver even doing slow laps right now. No, everyone's on slow laps. No one's doing long runs. No one's doing quick laps. It's just slowing down and entering the pits. We only have 5 cars on track, which is both Mercedes, both RBs, and Oscar Piastri. Oh, boring! The current top 10, though, we have Verstappen with a 29.54, Alonso with a 29.56, Sainz with a 29.66, Perez with a 29.88, Russell with a 29.93, Leclerc with a 30 dead, Norris with a 30.1, Stroll with a 30.24, Gasly with a 30.5, and Ocon with a 30.56. So the Alpines really not looking too bad. I mean, they're ahead of one of the Mercedes, Sargent, Magnussen, Joe. I mean, you sort of expect the Stake, Alpines, Williams, and Haas to all be at the rear end of the grid fighting each other. But to be fair, the Haas actually looks a step up in terms of race pace. Apparently, according to data, last week in Bahrain, the Haas car was actually 6th or even 5th fastest. And without Hulkenberg completely ruining his chances off the start by driving into people, they actually had the pace to score points. So, good for Haas, but obviously now we're on a street circuit and a different type of track. They're looking a bit shit. Hang on, we got an advert. Innovate to accelerate. Workday, a finance and HR system. I swear they've been sponsoring F1 for like 5 years now. That's like the only advert they have left. What are these adverts? It's an advert about selling your house and finding out how much your house is worth. Why are you making a woman have a very awkward conversation with her relatives? That doesn't make me want to go on your website. Stop being a prick. Advertise like this. This is what you want. This is a Renault advert. It's showing the car, the cost, the features. Great. That's what you want. Jesus Christ. Right. We only have 2 cars left on track, which is Oscar Piastri and Daniel Ricciardo. Oscar Piastri currently hasn't actually set a proper lap time yet. He might do one now, though. Currently P20 with a 32.9, and as I say that, improves to P9 with a 30.3. And we currently have 1 whole second between the top 10. For context, in practice 3 last week, we had 1 second between 1st and 18th. And as I say that, Ricciardo goes P7 on the soft tyre. Him and Tsunoda are the only ones to do soft laps. Ricciardo's sitting in P7, which I don't think's that good, because obviously they want to be fighting the, well, the Haas, maybe the McLaren, maybe the Aston. For maybe P5 or 6 in the constructors, scoring points in like P8 or P9, getting his Q3 sometimes, and well, so far they have the same running pace as the Stakes and the Alpines, who are of course at the complete back end of the grid. So, not good for them. Although to be fair, they weren't even that strong in Bahrain. I feel like people have taken their preseason testing a bit too serious. Like, they were very good in preseason testing, but I think that's just because everyone else wasn't doing as much, you know what I mean? Okay, Bottas has just come out on the new softs. Yes! Give me soft runs. That is what I long for. Just give me some quick hot laps so I can go through the sectors like, oh, he's improving, he's doing well. I think Piastri is beginning another hot lap as well. Let's go along with him and see if he actually is, or if it's just, you know, warm up. No, he is going for a quick lap because he is improving through some of the mini sectors. Let's see. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Green, 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 green. Go on, Oscar Pastry. Oh, he's going green everywhere. It's sector 1 time, a 32.4. Honestly, not that egregious at all. Not too bad. And he is on the medium tyre, keep in mind. Purple through turn 16. Okay. Purple again. Oh, he's purple through the straights. That's massive. For some reason, no driver as Piastri sets the fastest sector 2. No one can improve down the straights for some reason, but Piastri is doing that. And Piastri, coming around turn 27, the final corner, as Sargent says on the radio, come on mate, it's too dangerous. That's when Hamilton impeded Sargent. That is quite dangerous. Here comes Piastri. Peter! Piastri, a 32.4 in the first sector, a 28.2 in the second sector, the fastest of any driver so far. Sector 3 comes round the final corner, goes in the pits. Why? You might as well just finish the lap, go P1, and then go in the pits. Jesus wept. So Bottas is now coming round the final corner, and he's going to complete a lap. His sector times are a bit shit, but he's going to finish a lap. He's currently P19, and he goes... P7 is actually pretty respectable. I mean, it is on the soft tyre, but he is ahead of Daniel Ricciardo on the soft tyre. So, and ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to cook. We have every single driver on the crack. I'll try that again. We have every single driver on the track on soft tyres, except Russell, Ricciardo, Piastri and Hamilton. Every other driver is out on brand new softs. Oh yes! We're gonna see some proper hot laps now. Let's fucking go! Alonso, fastest sector 1, here we go! Purple through turn 11, 4, the straight, and 13, and 21. Alonso's absolutely cooking! And here he comes around the final corner, turn 27. He's currently P2 as Sargent improves to P10. But Alonso is going to go fastest by 7/10 of a second. Oh, yeah. I love that a lot. That is class. It is the soft tyre, of course, but oh, that is lovely. We also have Leclerc on a lap. Norris goes P4 on the soft tyre. That's actually a bit shit. That is Norris a whole second back from Alonso. Verstappen improves his lap time, but only by 2/10 on the soft tyre. Leclerc's going to cross the line now. He's currently P8 and he goes P2 for Leclerc. 3.5 back from Alonso, but not a terrible lap time by Leclerc. And we also have now Guan Yu Zhou, P6, very respectable. We have Sergio Perez on a lap. We have Tsunoda, P5. Of course, most drivers haven't done a soft run yet, but that ain't the point. Perez improving, but not by much. I think he can get P1, but not by much at all. Stroll goes P3, half a second back from his teammate Alonso. We have Ocon about to finish a lap. Here he comes. Ocon P19 goes up to P10. Here comes Perez though. P9. P3. P3 for Checo. Okay. I was getting ready to get the Red Bull shirt out, but no. Perez, half a second back from Alonso in P3. Alright, there you go. Lovely. I really thought I was about to, get this out like, yeah! Come on, the boys! Yeah! You know what I mean? But that hasn't quite worked at all. I will be wearing this, by the way, in qualifying in the race. It's just, practice is irrelevant, and this shirt, despite it being expensive, despite it being official merchandise, and despite it being too big for me, it's also incredibly uncomfortable, and becomes really sweaty after a while. So, I will be saving that for quali in the race. Now, we are officially 2 minutes away, but we are officially halfway through the session. Everyone has done one quick hot lap, and we have Fernando Alonso with a hang on, let's get the lap times up. We have Alonso with a 28.8, the only driver of anyone to go in the 1 minute 28. Then we have Leclerc with a 29.2, Perez a 29.3, Stroll a 29.33, Verstappen 29.37, Sainz 29.66, Tsunoda 29.66. Only 1 millisecond between them. Norris a 29.75, Guan Yu Zhou a 29.78, and Ocon a 29.9. The bottom 10 is Albon, Russell, Hulkenberg, Bottas, Magnussen, Ricciardo, Sargent, Piastri, Gasly, and Lewis Hamilton, who I believe hasn't set a lap time yet on the soft tyres, but he is now out, and he is doing his out lap, and he's going to come round, do a hot lap, and probably go around the P6 region. I'll also check back the sector times as Sargent improves from P17 to P12, only now about 20 milliseconds away from, 30 milliseconds away from his teammate Albon. Bottas is once again improving, as is Albon. There you go, he's now on a lap as well. He is 3/10 up on Sargent through the first sector, 2/10 down in the second sector. Magnussen also on a lap now. Magnussen's first sector is a bit poor. We can see Albon coming across the line now. He's coming around the final corner. Here he goes. You can see if he's improving or not. Really bad sector 2 for Alex Albon. Currently P11. and he moves only one place up to P10. Magnussen improving in Sector 2. That's actually not a bad Sector 2 time. That is up on the Williams and the State cars. So we'll see where Magnussen goes. I think he is on the softs now. Let's have a quick look. Yes. All 20 drivers on softs. Why does my stream keep doing that? Stop being an arsehole. Do you know what I mean? Like, Jesus webs. Here comes Magnussen across the line, and he goes 2 places up from P16 to P14. Big improvement from the lad, and no one else is on a lap. Oh, Piastri might... I think Piastri is doing a long run, maybe. Or he's doing an incredibly fast warm-up lap. I have no idea. No, Piastri, despite not improving in Sector 1 or 2, being way off it, he actually goes P9 with a very good Sector 3. I don't know where that's come from. I honestly have no idea where that lap time's come from. That must be the best Sector 3 time in all of history. I like it how at this point I don't even listen or watch the Sky Sports broadcast. I just look at the live timing. Because the thing is with the live timing, obviously you don't just get a complete live update, but it tells you the exact sector times of all 20 drivers. Sky doesn't do that, as Max Verstappen goes from P5 to P2. Goes Verstappen, and he goes within he's still 3/10 behind Alonso, and still in the 1 minute 29s. But yeah, with live timing, you can look at all sector times of all 20 drivers. So you can see for now, I can see that Gasly in P19, Russell in P14, and Joe in P10 are all on laps. Joe improves his lap time and goes within 3 milliseconds of Piastri. Gasly goes P6. Oh, that's fast. Fair play to the Alpine. That is rapid. I mean, that's only 7/10 back from Alonso. That ain't awful. Really not bad from the Alpine drivers. Well, Ocon's still shit, but yeah, that's not bad. I mean, there is a lot of track ramp, and probably by the end of this session, everyone's going to be about half a second quicker. So we'll have to wait for some more updated lap times. Hamilton, by the way, is on a lap. Didn't actually improve through turn 2, 3, or 4, but fastest through turn 13. Through Sector 2, it's a 28.3. Definitely a not a bad lap time at all. He's 2.5 tenths back from Russell, and he's actually a 10th back from Gasly. Never mind, this lap is egregious. Hamilton comes around the final corner, turn 27, improving, but I don't think he's getting in the top 7 here. Here he comes. Unless he does a really good Sector 3. And Hamilton, P7. 24 milliseconds ahead of Gasly in the Alpine. 3/10 off George Russell's lap time. Way off. Bro is miles off. Like, wow. I also think Piastri's doing another hot lap. He is. Well, he's trying to anyway. He's not doing too bad. He's not improving. But he seems to find a little something in that final sector, because he's terrible through Sector 1 and 2. Never improving, but finds a little something in the final sector. And I'm not entirely sure how that works. But here he comes across the line. Currently P12. Is he going to improve? He does. See what I mean? He goes even quicker through Sector 3 and goes up to P9. If he can just do an improved Sector 1 and 2, he can probably get top 5 easily. And as I say this, Ricciardo, half a tenth back through Sector 1, but faster. No, only... Wait, no. Okay, anyway, Ricciardo's on a hot lap. He goes P19. Very bad from the RB of Ricardo. What tyre? Softs. He's actively just gone P19 on the softs. Yeah. What I will say, though, is there is only 1.3 seconds between all 20 drivers. The gaps, I mean, to be fair, you take Alonso out the picture, it's 1 second between second and 20th. You got 3 temps, 3-5, 3-8, 4-7, 5, 6-7, 7, 7-6, 8-3, 8-3, 9-3, 9-5, 9-6, 1.0, 1.1, 1.15, 1.25, 1.26, 1.32. Very, 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 very close between all 20 cars. And we sort of saw that throughout qualifying as well last week in Bahrain. Very, very tight margins. I mean, Sargent missed out on Q2 by like 20 milliseconds. Someone missed out on Q3 by like 7 milliseconds. It's incredible how close the field is. And yet Red Bull is still clear by like half a second. We don't really know how that's happened. Now we have George Russell with the fastest Sector 2 and an improved Sector 1. Okay, Russell, come on. It will Russell be the second driver to go into the 1 minute 28. He's fastest through turn 25, 26 and 27, and it's looking good for Russell to go fastest. He's currently P4 across the line, and he does go P2. P2. And it doesn't even go into 1 minute 28. 2.5 tenths back from Alonso, and doesn't even get into 1 minute 28. I'm actually depressed. Right, anyway, Lewis Hamilton on a new lap. 2 tenths back from Russell through the first sector. Checo giving Hamilton a beautiful slipstream and holding him up, which is cringe. Perez, you need to let him by. Perez, you need to let him by. Perez, you need to... Okay, Hamilton's given up because he was impeded by Checo. I love you, Checo, but that was a bit out of order. Right, let's follow along with Perez as he begins his latest hot lap on the medium tyre. Here we go. So he's probably not going to improve at all, but we can still see his medium lap time pace. As we enter the final 20 minutes of this session. Bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum. Someone's just improved their lap time, and I honestly can't tell who. I think it was Sainz, maybe? Radio from Sainz saying, unbelievable, this guy. Who? 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 As Russell getting millimeters away from the wall there. That is scary as fuck. As expected, Checo isn't improving his lap time. That's because he is on the medium tyre. And I think it was Sainz that improved to only P7 for Sainz, P4 for Leclerc. Now, of course, it's very important that Sainz demolishes Leclerc this year in terms of qualifying position, race position, and overall pace, because he needs to prove to whether it's Mercedes, whether it's Red Bull, whether it's any team on the grid, that he is a quality driver and they should sign him, because at the moment, I don't think Sainz is getting a seat next year, because the only conceivable way that Sainz gets a seat is if Alonso leaves to Mercedes, which ain't gonna happen, and then Sainz goes to Aston, because I don't think Red Bull are getting rid of Checo. I think they will give him another extension. I think, obviously, Ferrari's Ferrari. Mercedes, I think they'll go for... See, the thing is, like, there's no clear answer to who's going to Mercedes, because, like, they don't really have a proper junior program, and there's no real, like, connected driver. Like, with Russell, he was always a Mercedes junior, and he was in Williams, which is a Mercedes team. Like, they used Mercedes parts, and they just promoted him, that's it. A bit similar with, like, Red Bull with Toro Rosso. Like, there's no clear answer who's getting that seat, because, like, you look at the current grid, it ain't gonna be any of the current grid, unless it is Alonso, which would be a Christmas miracle. But that's about it. I don't see any other 18 drivers going to Mercedes, which means they'll have to get either a rookie or a driver that's no longer in F1 and wants to come back. I don't really think of any. The only one that I can think of is Romain Grosjean, but he's atrocious at driving cars because he has half a hand. And the only other candidate is Kimi Antonelli. I don't think he's good enough, because he's literally like 17 and he's done one race in F2 and he was absolutely atrocious. So it's going to be very interesting to see who they actually get. Do you know what I think? I think they should go and get Kimi Räikkönen, because I think Kimi Räikkönen is a great driver. And he's old, but he ain't that old. Get him in, honestly. Do you know what is a bit depressing? I'm older than Kimi Antonelli. Right? I'm older than Antonelli by 3 months. He's currently driving in Formula 2, the closest thing to Formula 1, maybe other than Super Formula. He's, you know, he's dominating championships, he's winning everything, he's, you know, getting close to F1, he's getting nodded for an F1 seat. I'm 2 months older, and yet I'm sitting in my room talking about him. It's very sad, like... And it's only going to get worse when, like, in a couple years' time, when I'm talking about these F1 rookies who are, like, 19 and I'm, like, 22 doing this exact thing. It's so depressing. So let's take a quick look at the live timing. Any updates on some lap times? I don't believe so. We have Norris, improvement through Sector 1, but he has abandoned his lap. And was Hamilton always P8? Yes, he was. So we have 16 minutes left. At 15-minute mark, I'll give you another update on the top 10 and just where drivers are at. And then we'll go from there in the final 15 minutes of today. Update from Twitter. Apparently, Checo is doing a long run on mediums. Good to know. Thank you, Twitter. And also, I don't really want to talk about it because realistically, it's got nothing to do with the racing. It's got nothing to do with F1, really. But apparently, the person who filed the complaint on Christian Horner has been suspended on full pay, which means they don't have to work and they still get paid. And they got suspended because they were dishonest. But total bollocks. Most likely total bollocks, so don't listen to it. It's a bit like the Verstappen Mercedes and the Christian Horner sacking. It's all bollocks. Nothing that was said about those things came out of either Verstappen or Christian Horner's mouths. Therefore, it's not true. There you go. Anyway, back on track. We have 15 minutes remaining. Everyone, let's get a quick tyre update for you. And also, I might as well give you the top 10 update. We have Alonso, Verstappen, Perez, Stroll, Gasly, Piastri, Joe, Ocon, Sargent on the medium tyre. We have Albon, Hulkenberg, and Bottas on the hard tyre. And then we have Russell, Sainz, Hamilton, Norris, all in the pits. We have Ocon coming out on mediums. And then we have Magnussen and Ricciardo on softs. And now the top 10 is as follows. We have Alonso with a 28.8. Russell with a 29.05. Verstappen with a 29.15. Leclerc with a 29.18. Perez with a 29.3. Stroll with a 29.33. Sainz with a 29.45. Hamilton a 29.5. Gasly a 29.52. And Piastri a 29.59. Those are the top 10. Things I'm sort of taking interest in is Ricciardo doing very poor. Currently P19, his teammate 4/10 ahead on the same tyre in P11, behind the Haas, behind the Alpines, behind the Williams, and only ahead of a Valtteri Bottas that hasn't done a proper lap yet. So, not looking good for Danny Rick at all. Let's go back on Twitter though, and see if there's any updates for the boys. I'm also going to keep an eye on the sector times and let you know if anyone's improving. But obviously, at this point, we're going to see a few long runs because, well, we've been through the quali hot laps. We've been there. We've done that. So I'll just tell you the kind of lap times we're seeing. So we've got Albon with a 35 dead. Alonso and Verstappen both lapping in the low 34s, mid 34s. We have Stroll in the 35 or low 35s. Perez low 34s, very low 34s. Sargent in the mid 35s. Magnussen in the mid 35s. Hulkenberg in mid 35s. Ricciardo high 34s. Alright. Not bad at all from the lads. And then we'll give it another minute or so when everyone else has completed another lap. We'll look at more long runs. Bottas with the 35.7. We have Piastri with a 34.7. Decent lap time by him. Hulkenberg a 35.3. Checo 34.6. That's a bit shit. Verstappen, sorry, 34.3. Sargent 35.4. Tsunoda 35.9. Magnussen 35.5. Alonso 34.7. Okay, I have a rough idea on the top 10 for race pace. I think the race pace, not by team, by actual driver, is as follows. The fastest, Max Verstappen. He is the fastest, okay? Bosh. I accidentally just pressed a key on my keyboard. I thought it ended my stream. And then, second fastest is Alonso. And then, Perez. And then, Piastri. And then, Ricciardo. And then, Albon. And then, Sargent. And then, Bottas. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then... I'm going to put Leclerc 4th. Okay. Let me actually make a proper list. Yeah, that looks right. That's 5. That. And then... that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I got 8. And then we'll go for... So this is a bit scuffed because I have no idea what the fuel loads are. Also, another thing is, well, it's actually rather confusing because we have Alonso doing mid 34s, Verstappen's doing low 34s, Checo's doing low 35s, Leclerc's doing mid 34s, Hamilton's doing mid 34s, Gasly's doing mid 34s, Piastri's doing mid 34s, Ricciardo's doing mid 34s, Ocon's doing mid 34s, Albon and Sargent are doing mid 34s, and Joe's doing mid 34s. Sure, well, no. But my prediction for the top 10 is Verstappen, Perez, Alonso, Leclerc, Stroll, Hamilton, Piastri, Albon, Ricciardo, and Gasly. Things to keep in mind. Russell and Sainz and Norris are not even up. They're not on the track and they're not doing long. Oh, no, they are on the track. They're just not doing long runs. They've just started them. But that is my top 10 roughly. That was a complete waste of time because it's probably going to change in 5 minutes time. But we currently have 8 minutes left and we are not going to see any more quali laps. This is purely the long runs. And to be fair, I somewhat prefer the long runs because you can see the consistency. And oh, hang on, Checo maybe with some impeding as he does a 34.1, which is very similar to Verstappen's lap time, so I think he's getting held up a little bit on a couple laps, but we can see how he gets on. Leclerc with a 34.7, Gasly a 37.3, Jesus Christ. Hamilton does a 37.7, Russell a 34.2, Bottas 35.7, Piastri nothing, Hulkenberg 35.7, Perez 35.4, definitely getting held up by Hulkenberg. And he's actually going for an overtake on Hulkenberg. Sergio Perez overtakes Nico Hulkenberg on track. Well done, fair play. So it's very, very close between pretty much every single driver on track, apart from the Alpines. The Alpines and the Stakes are really... Actually, you know what I will do? Rather than drivers, I'll do teams. The top 10. So my top 10 in terms of teams in race pace is Red Bull first, and now I'd say it's literally equal, joint second, not second and third, joint second, Ferrari and Mercedes. And then the thing with Aston, I've put them fourth because Stroll is quite slow, but Fernando Alonso is really quick. So it sort of balances out at fourth. But if you want, you can even say there's 3 joint second because Ferrari, Mercedes and Aston are setting very similar lap times, all of them. And then I'm going to put McLaren in P5, RB, Williams, Haas, Alpine, and Stake in last. That is my prediction of the current race pace running order. As Hamilton says on the radio, I can't stop the rear from sliding. Hamilton, drive slower. That ain't a very good solution because your lap times will be shambolic, but that will stop the rear sliding. What would you rather have? Be fast with rear sliding or be slow without it? Some more lap times. Hamilton 34.4, Alonso 40. Okay, no, we'll ignore that one. Sargent a 35.8, Stroll 36, Ocon 35.6, Daniel Ricciardo 34.8, 35.2. Stroll has a black and white flag for not following race director instructions. Can we get a little insight on that? Track limits. That probably means that he's gone on the pit lane line. For some reason, down the straight, the main straight, when you go in the pits, you're not allowed to even put a wheel on that painted line, which is really dumb and really stupid. But there you go. So yeah, for the final 5 minutes of this session, we are going to see plenty of long run action. But I'm trying to look for representative lap times. That's normal. A 34.3 for Perez. No. Everyone is lapping in the 34s or 35s. There's no one in the 36s apart from Stroll. But it might just be a traffic lap. Because obviously, if it was just like... The drivers could probably be very consistent if they just drove without anyone else on track. Because they're always in traffic, it's not very representative. Well, there you go, my point proven. As I said, Stroll's doing a 36, it ends a 35.5. Another radio message from Hamilton. Hamilton has no power. Hamilton has no power. Okay. So that's Hamilton done for the session. All other 19 drivers are out on track. Quick tyre update for you. We have Alonso, Russell, Verstappen, Perez, Stroll, Sainz, Gasly, Piastri, Joe, Ocon and Sargent are all doing long runs on the medium tyre. We then have Leclerc, Tsunoda, Magnussen and Ricciardo doing long runs on the softs. And then we have Bottas, Hülkenberg, Albon and Norris doing long runs on the hards. And Norris's hard tyre pace looking very promising, doing mid-34s, late 34s on the hards is very impressive. Let's see, with 3 minutes remaining, who has done the most laps. We have 24, 25, 25. We have a three-way tie for the most laps driven in this session with Ricciardo, Tsunoda, and Alonso all doing 25 laps. And the least is going to be Lewis Hamilton with 19, joined with Norris, who has also done 19. Karun, get a life, mate! Honestly, every single time Karun Chandok speaks, it is something to do with shading off Perez and praising Ricciardo. That's all this guy does. Like, the dick riding is unbelievable. All this guy does. Oh yeah, no, you got to say though, Ricciardo, well, you know, whatever, it was quick. Perez, you know, he did what he was asked to do. He got second. He held off Sainz. Perez could have probably driven half a second quicker than he did, because Helmut Marko said it himself. But he didn't have to, because Sainz was behind and he had a gap. So he just managed the gap. How? Oh, this guy, I hate him. And it's not just him, it's the whole Sky Sports broadcast. Oh yeah, guys, we should put Ricciardo in the Red Bull seat. If Ricciardo goes back to Red Bull, he will get he will be worse than Perez, by far. He'll be way worse than Perez. Stroll getting told to stay off pit entry. Like, the fact is, no matter who drives for Red Bull, no matter if it's Ricciardo, Perez, Logan Sargent, it doesn't matter who, Verstappen will destroy them. And this is the thing I don't understand. Red Bull don't want a driver to challenge Verstappen. They want a driver exactly like Perez, who will always finish second. Alright? Second. They don't want two drivers like Ferrari or Mercedes who fight for number one. They want a clear number one and a clear number two. Because in 2018, when they had two number ones, it just went to pot. It was awful. They kept crashing into each other. They kept driving, you know, aggressively towards each other. And that just made the team shit. And it's the similar with Mercedes. It's why they kept Bottas for so long, because he would always finish second. And when he started to not finish second in 2020 and 2021, he got the sack. I don't understand why it's so difficult for people to understand that I mean, obviously as fans, I don't personally, but as a fan of Formula 1, you want someone to challenge Verstappen. Of course you do. But from Red Bull's point of view, they have it perfect. They have a clear number 1 and a clear number 2. Oh, it pisses me off so bad how they're always mugging off Perez and praising Ricciardo. But as I finish my rant, practice 2 for the Formula 1 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix of 2024 has come to a close. And the finishing results are thus. Fernando Alonso finishes in P1 with a 28.8. George Russell finishes P2 with a 29 dead. Verstappen P3 with a 29.15. Leclerc in P4 with a 29.18. Perez in P5 with a 29.3. Stroll in P6 with a 29.33. Sainz in P7 with a 29.45. Hamilton in P8 with a 29.5. Gasly in P9 with a 29.52. And Piastri in P10 with a 29.59. The bottom 10 goes Tsunoda in P11, Norris in P12, and then Guan Yu Zhou, Alex Albon, Esteban Ocon, Logan Sargent, Kevin Magnussen, Nico Hulkenberg, Daniel Ricciardo, and Valtteri Bottas. Final thoughts? Alonso is cooking up something foul. To be faster than everyone by 2/10 on the same tyre is very, very impressive. And the only driver, to get into the 1 minute 28. So I can't speak properly because David Croft is chatting bollocks again. I'm impressed with George Russell. I'm very disappointed in Carlos Sainz, Lewis Hamilton, Lando Norris, and Daniel Ricciardo. Impressed by the Alpines, mainly just Gasly, because he's in P9. Strong lap times by him today. And that is about it. Everything else is about as it seems. You know, you got Aston, Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, top 4. In, well, no particular order, just those 4, that's normal. And then McLaren, RB, Alpine, Stake, Williams, you know, it's all fairly normal. A couple people performing really well, some of them a bit disappointing. Now, moving on to tomorrow. Busy day tomorrow, as we have another 3 sessions to watch. We have Formula 1 Practice 3 at 1 p.m. British time. And then at 3 p.m. British time, we have the Formula 2 sprint race. And then at 4:50 p.m., 10 to 5 British time p.m., we have Formula 1 qualifying. Oh, it's going to be a good one. And then the big ones on Saturday, March the 9th, we have at 1:15 p.m. the F2 feature race, and then at, I believe, 4:45, so yeah, 4:45 p.m. we have the big one, the Formula 1 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix of 2024. That's all from me today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for practice 3 of Formula 1. See ya!